Hello, this is Bike from the Brink. In this video, I'm going to show you how I make these 3D printed manifolds for Virago 535. This is the CAD design before I send them off to the 3D printing software. And then when they've been 3D printed, I do a metal insert in each orifice because when the clamps clamp down, it resists outwardly, and we've never had one fail, so I'm happy with it. I also think it's probably a little over-engineered, but there's no harm in that. And then now on screen you can see this version fits the Virago 700 to 1100 size. They're dimensionally all the same. It's a slightly different design in that the carbs are offset. So you have this sort of S shape from carb to carb, and you've got the other pipe coming in from where your carb mounts. So as it is on screen right now, the top is where the carb goes in. And you can see there's an offset. That pipe coming in from the top doesn't join in the middle of that S. And the reason for that was to equalize the flow, because if it came in the middle, when we tried it, it was biased towards the other cylinder. So then I moved my model from my CAD software to my 3D printer software. And for those of you that are not familiar with 3D printing, you can't print in midair. So you have to generate this support material so that when we start printing, it starts from somewhere and not mid-air. So let me just demonstrate there. The model begins as that. That's a 20th of a millimeter, 0.05 of a millimeter. And each increment there goes up until your model starts printing, touching the support material. And that's how you effectively suspend it in midair. And then I print these from engineering grade resin from Licreate, usually Strong X or a Rigid Pro. That's not just your 10 or 20 pound resin that people use for making minifigures. And then we move on to my 3D printer, just finishing a print there. That's the 700 to 1100 size. Takes about 8 or 9 hours to print that. And then when it's printed, it lifts it out of the vat of resin, and I just tip them on one side then to drain off, maybe give them 10 minutes tipped up, and then we can cure them. So we have to wash them. They're covered in loose resin. It goes into a vat, and we wash it off and then give it a final cure. Then each orifice has a metal insert which I make from this stainless strip, and I bend it around and fit it into a recess which is printed into the model. I need to make these pretty accurately, within about 4/100ths of a millimeter accuracy. They're a press fit, as you'll see coming up, and if they're not accurate enough, they could fall out. If they're too loose, they could fall out, and if they're too tight, I can't get them in. So I grind them down to size and then check the measurement. Just clean up the edges there so it's got a nice square end to it. And I just use a little punch to put a hole in the steel. It is stainless steel, so it's pretty hard to drill. So I like a nice little starter hole like that. Recently I've started using my pillar drill instead of this hand drill, because it seems to not eat drill bits as much and goes through a bit nicer. That's a nice sharp drill bit there. It goes straight through this stainless. And then a quick clean up of the swath on the back of the drill hole, and it's good for a final measure. I get my calipers, and basically if it sits nicely in the calipers and doesn't fall through, it's just nice. Look at that precision shedding. So then the next thing is I shape them to the size of these holes. This is on the little 535 caliper. I found the socket's a perfect size. So on this side it's a little bit tighter than the hole, which I do for each end. So this end I just bend it sort of quarter, then the other end a quarter, and then bend the whole thing around to slightly smaller than the hole, because I've got to put it in there. And then you'll see what the holes are for next. You'll see how the holes are used to then squeeze the clip into position, so it's pretty much permanently in there. So it's an exact size of that recess inside. So I squeeze them in, just in on itself like this. Pop it into its little recess with a little satisfying snap noise when they go in. Like that. You can see there, and I found if I can push it in with my thumb, it's too loose, I pull it out. It's just no good. And then I get these big, robust C-clip pliers. That's what the two holes are for. Put the C-clip pliers in there. And again, it takes quite a bit of force because you're actually stretching the plastic, but you get a satisfying click, like that. And that is in there permanently. That's staying. And I give them a little test with my socket that's just snug up against it there. On the 700 size, I actually made a piece on my lathe that slides nicely inside to test them. And that's it. That's staying. And the bit you've all been waiting for. Let's see them on the bikes. These are all customers' bikes. They've sent me the videos of their bikes they've been running for, I think some of them as many as 4 years now with these carb manifolds in. And since the final design, I've had none back, no complaints. And there they are.